And it is now my pleasure and privilege to introduce a man whose name is synonymous with great leadership. Frank T. Brogan, the president of Florida Atlantic University, entered public life in 1988 when he was elected superintendent of schools in Martin County, Florida. Previously, he had been a fifth grade teacher, dean of students, assistant principal, and principal in the Martin County public school system. Just 3 years after being named superintendent of schools, he was elected to the statewide position of Commissioner of Education, becoming the youngest person ever to hold that office. That was followed by another win at the polls in 1999, when he and Jeb Bush were elected Florida's governor and lieutenant governor respectively. They had just won a second term when the presidency of Florida Atlantic University opened up, and Mr. Brogan, a 1981 alumnus of FAU, decided to go for it. The Board of Trustees unanimously selected him to serve as the fifth president of his alma mater, and he's been at the helm for the past 4 years. President Brogan has brought a high-energy, high-involvement, high-profile style of leadership to FAU. Today, this university is more engaged with the communities it serves than ever before, and that is directly attributable to President Brogan's dynamic approach to leading a great institution into the future. His positive attitude, commitment to teamwork, and uncompromising dedication to excellence are helping to define FAU in the 21st century as an outstanding center of academic accomplishment and cutting-edge research. This university is truly fortunate to have him as its president, and we are equally as fortunate to have him here today at the Keys to Success seminar. Please welcome Florida Atlantic University President Frank Brogan.
Thank you very much, Tony, for the kind introduction, and I'll get back to you later about scheduling me as the speaker immediately following the dance corps. Needless to say, a tough act to follow. My first comments, though, are in the direction of Gino Rufero. You heard the long list of people and groups and organizations that went into the creation of this first annual Keys to Success seminar. And it's a long list. Things like this do not come off without the involvement of a huge number of people in and related to the university. And I won't spend my time going back through that litany. They were well chronicled a moment ago. But I want to spend a moment on Gino Rufero. First of all, President Shaw, I can assure you that when Gino came to my office, it was a different take. Gino told me that he had the undying and unwavering support of the President of Student Government and all of student government when he first solicited me for support for the Keys to Success. I think one of the keys to success we learned from that, Gino, is it all depends on who the audience happens to be as to the take you put on a particular issue. But I further want to say that it was his unwavering motivation that brought us here today. He ran into challenges, as organizers of large events often do. It would have been easy to lay down and quit on a number of occasions when he ran into headlong obstacles and challenges. He found apathy out there. He found people who questioned, as oftentimes people do, the first ever anything. He ran into people who were cynical. He ran into people who provided him with a long list of "we can't do this because." And Gino, who was relentless in a very positive way, started from a basic platform, Key to Success. His platform was predicated on the unwavering belief that this was a great idea, and he visioned it happening and made it his obligation that nothing would stand in his way, that he would knock on whatever doors he needed to, that he would rouse the apathy of some into their own unwavering support, that if he found obstacles, he found either ways round them or over them or directly through them if necessary. He regularly faced daunting obstacles and yet always, in every case, managed to rally the support through his own motivational skills from others, their ability to overcome them. We really don't need any additional speakers today because in the face and form of a 20-year-old young man, we've already found clear evidence, at least in my opinion, of what is evidence itself of true success. It's already been evidenced by Gino Rufero. His belief that brought us together today is truly a poster image of what keys to success are all about. It starts with a belief, it starts with a motivation, it starts with the energy, it starts with a never say die attitude to see your goal and go after it, and never let anyone tell you that you cannot achieve it. He's a remarkable young man, and through him and to all of our students who follow in that same mold, the real keys to the future are yours. It's your genius, it's your motivation, it's your high energy, it's your never say die approach to life that will inherit the world and further and more importantly make it a better place as a result. So Gino, my hat's off to you and all who helped to make today possible. Thank you very, very much. I do want to say a special thank you to our speakers today. These are very busy people and yet very wise people. You see, they understand that by giving us a little of their time at Florida Atlantic University, they are not putting time in. They are investing time into the next generation of leaders. You see, it's no different in a sports organization. You're only as strong as your bench. You can have the very best skilled players on the floor, on the diamond, on the court, but if the people who aren't sitting on the bench, ready to take the place of the starters when they are winded and tired and can go no further, then you will find an organization in the world of the sports analogy that will never win the big game or the big championship. And we believe here at Florida Atlantic University that we're in the business of taking students where we find them and preparing them to enter the big game and be impact players. People who can walk into the world of business, walk into society, and just by virtue of the fact that they've entered the game, make a positive and significant impact, not just in that organization and in our country, but in the world. To do less, you see, to expect less would to be a diminished capacity of any great university. We have a world-class faculty who comes to work every day not to just impart knowledge, but to make certain that through their experience, through the sharing of information, through the rigorous and demanding curriculum that they provide and the expectations that they set, that students who graduate from Florida Atlantic University can compete against students from any university in the world and outcompete most. That's our mission, is to take you where we find you and give every single one of you, no matter the color of your skin or your native tongue or your socioeconomic status when you arrive, your family structure or your cultural or value mores, but to take you where we find you and help hone you to the point where you can outcompete anyone in the global economy that grows bigger and more complex every single day. It's a phenomenal challenge. It's not only to provide you enough arrows in your quiver just to be successful in your area of major study. It's to provide you the well-rounded package of opportunity that will further your ability to be everything that we know that you are capable of being. Keys to success are sometimes small and subtle issues. Dressing for success, arriving on time, being able to communicate your feelings and your thoughts, and in the world of work, your ideas. The ability, I think, to take that skill set that you've learned along the way and put it to practical application. You'll hear a great many secrets and hints regarding the keys to success today. And truly, as was stated, pay attention to them, because the experiential base that'll stand on this stage or sit at that table or network with you following today's program will be a great opportunity to hear from successful people their take on what success is all about and how to achieve it. They will all tell you the same thing. There's no silver bullet to being successful. There is no one way to be successful. It's a package of requirements that lead people down a path of success. How do we know that? All you have to do is look to the past and see from whence people have come in government, in the private sector, in not-for-profit worlds, and how they've risen to a level of success that makes them a role model for others to follow. And if you track back, you will find they're all different. They all come from different backgrounds. They all took slightly different paths to their level of success. But for just a moment, I want to share one with you that I believe in profoundly. It is one that I have clung to for my entire adult life. It's one that perhaps you may not find in the great textbooks in the College of Business. And yet, it's one that I am convinced is the hallmark of every great leader in some way, shape, or form. And it's a very basic concept and more often than not overlooked by far too many people. And yet it is profoundly important. And ironically, it's the only thing you control. We don't control anything in our lives with totality, save one thing: our attitude. Our attitude is the only thing that we hold on to. It's the only thing that no one else controls. It is ours 365 days a year, every minute of every day. It is shaped by one person, you. No one else creates your attitude. No one changes your attitude. No one can force your attitude to be anything you don't want it to be. And yet attitude, any CEO will tell you, is the thing that either holds people back from being buoyant in the corporate world, or it is the thing that will help to propel people forward in the corporate world. A well-honed attitude can help to make up for a lack of academic success. How else do you understand the fact that not everybody who rises to a level of extreme success started out as a 4.0 student? Attitude, if well honed, can overcome background. How else do you explain the fact that some of the most successful people started out from abject poverty, or as a result of intolerance or injustice or even slavery? And yet, their attitude, coupled with their other leadership skills, propelled them to great things. Oh, it's amazing what a well-honed attitude can do to create a package opportunity of success. And yet, it is still at the same time arguably one of the most fragile attributes that we carry. Too many people do allow others to control their attitude. People allow others to decide whether they are going to have a good day or a bad day. Too many people allow others to tell them that they can't, and therefore they don't. Too many people allow the water cooler destruction to pull them into the world of negative thinking about their colleagues, their organization, the product that they create, manufacture, or sell. Too many people fall prey to the manipulation of their own and very personal attitude by others around them. But you and I have been around those who have managed to master the art of attitude. And aren't they a joy to be around? People who wake up with a great attitude and go to bed with the same attitude. People who, no matter the circumstances or the challenge, no matter the relentless pressures that they face, still somehow seem to manage to maintain a consistent, positive, strong, and energetic attitude toward life, toward family, toward job. Isn't it interesting that it's always much more enjoyable to gravitate to people like that than it is to find yourself being pulled into the negative attitude of others who really live in the world of misery loves company? Isn't it interesting how when you characterize what a leader should be in your own mind, you want to follow someone, whether it's in student government, whether it's in the business world, whether it's your instructor, whether it's even in your own family or your friends. You want to follow people who have a magnetism that pulls people up. The magnetism that creates a positive vibration and energy that truly people can feed from, that makes you a better person simply because you are in that magnetic field. That's what attitude can do. And if you go back and if you look at most of the great leaders in history, you will find a number of common characteristics. You will find some that are not common. But I dare to say that the vast majority of them had an attitude that set them apart from others. It's very difficult to orchestrate a definition of appropriate attitude. As I say, you can dress for success, you can be on time, you can have the skill set and the knowledge base necessary to succeed. But if the attitude doesn't go along, and I would submit, lead the way for individuals, at the end of the day, all of those other wonderful attributes will be diminished and in some cases lost. So as I part the podium, I would leave you with what very little advice I have to offer you, because the vast majority of you are already successful people. You've managed to navigate your own set of challenges. You've managed to find out how to beat the odds to arrive at the place you are, which leads me to believe that you are headed to great things, all of you. But I would beg you, please, to consider your attitude during the rest of your life. To consider how you're going to deal with success, tragedy, sorrow, joy, obstacles, challenges, how you will deal with the people who will tell you you can't, and still make certain that you do. I want you to consider the attitude you carry into your job interviews and make certain that if they remember nothing else about you, they remember the smile on your face and the energy that you brought when you came to the interview. More often than not, a CEO looks exactly for that. I want you to consider the impact you'll have on your colleagues in the world of work. Be the person they point to and say, no matter what we're doing, no matter what trials and tribulations we face, that individual is a very special part of this organization and keeps us motivated and moving forward. You will be amazed what your attitude will do for you. And the beauty of attitude is not just in your professional life, every bit as much, if not more, in your personal life. It's as close to a panacea as you can possibly find. To all of our speakers today, again, thank you so very much. To our organizers, wonderful job putting it all together. But most importantly, to the students who are here, make certain that you take full advantage of what you hear today. Make certain that you take full advantage of the networking that you will follow. And make certain that if you believe it should be so, this becomes the first annual Keys to Success program sponsored by Florida Atlantic University. And now, the real speakers. I have the great opportunity and pride to present to you a gentleman who has already, in his very rather short relationship with Florida Atlantic University, made an indelible and positive mark upon our institution of higher learning. He became entangled and trapped with Florida Atlantic University some time ago, and since then has already become one of the best friends we've ever had. He realizes, and is testament to it, that education can take you miles and miles. He realizes that hard work and belief in yourself and others are purely keys to success.